It's Nolan. What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. Now, y'all know I went all the way in earlier on my previous two videos when we talked about DJ Vlad, when we talked about Partisan Fontaine. We're not going to go that hard on this one, okay? We're just going to do some sensible analysis here, all right? Now, I've got a great deal of respect for everyone that I'm talking about in this video, from Coach K to Young Jeezy to JayZ. Now, Coach K was recently doing an interview with a podcast called Business Untitled. This episode dropped on Wednesday, and he was asked about the moment that he knew Jeezy really made it, right? At the time, he gave it credence to when he sold 100,000 copies of Jeezy's mixtape The Streets Is Watching, which was definitely a big deal. He said, we pressed up like 100,000 copies, put them on the streets, and within a month, the phone started ringing. We were doing a chitlin circuit. We put that mixtape out in July, and by February, we did $6 million on the road, all cash. We hadn't even put an album out yet, and then when we did Trap or Die mixtape, I knew it was a wrap. He then claimed that Jeezy at that point was more relevant than JayZ. I repeat, he says, Jeezy was more relevant than JayZ in the South. Let's go ahead and put that little disclaimer there. Matter of fact, let's just go ahead and play the clip. I don't want to paraphrase. I want you to see his face. You know what I'm saying? Let's actually play it.
It was like,
no, he was the biggest.
it was like, what the fuck is happening?
Jeezy at that time,
What was the moment you knew?
you might get, New Yorkers might say this, but
remember that CNN shit?
Jeezy was probably more relevant than Jay.
Really?
No, seriously, at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
But you from New York, bro.
But he was.
I'm from New York.
You from New York. And Jeezy from the South. And New York was on him like that. And the whole South. Jay hadn't really, the South still, you know what I'm saying? Like, to Big Pimpin', like the South wasn't it's real, into Big Pimpin'.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna disagree with that.
Yeah, but you from Brooklyn.
But they were in the conversation.
But Jay, I'm saying Jay,
that.
no, Jay was much bigger, but I'm saying like irrelevant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's moments where fucking some of these smaller artists is more relevant than the bigger artists. You know?
Not Jay and Jeezy though, but I'm gonna let you have that because you're from Atlanta.
I'm not from Atlanta, but that's where I made my money.
Now you're from Atlanta. Now you're from Atlanta.
Now you're from Atlanta.
You're an adopted Atlanta.
But what was the moment? What was the song or like the moment where?
Oh, man. I hate to see it. I hate to see it, and I hate to break this down, okay? So, now, you got to understand, I get where Coach K is coming from, right? When Jeezy hit the scene and that mixtape really hit the streets, this was something that was astronomical for an artist like Jeezy in the South. We're coming off of the success of T.I. introducing what he called trap music to the world, right? Now we got this artist, Jeezy, who's like right after that, and he's fully embracing the trap. So the streets is getting behind this dude. He's wearing this bandana all the time. He's coming off of being affiliated with BMF. You know, so the streets, the hood niggas, the niggas that's really in the tough areas, the rough areas, they're gravitating to what he's dishing out because he's speaking out their life, right? So I understand in the South, in so many ways, he was kind of like a JayZ of the South. Same thing that they were trying to put T.I. on, right? They were trying to label him the JayZ of the South. Same label that Lil Wayne eventually had placed upon him as well. That's why it's negated. You can't be the JayZ of the South and be bigger than JayZ himself. You know what I mean? For there to even be comparisons, for JayZ to get on your record and remix it and propel it to a level that you were not able to take it to, it just shows that you were not more relevant, right? What Jeezy had was the buzz. He had a buzz that nobody can really duplicate, right? Because what JayZ didn't have, JayZ was a slow burn. JayZ has been releasing singles since what, 95, 94? You know, teasing music. His style evolved over the course of the next few years. He put out Reasonable Doubt. That was a slow burner. It hit the scene. People were still warming up to what he had going on. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop was more hardcore. He was like the sophisticated gangster. He was doing the more mafioso stuff, but he was doing it in a real suave way. It took another year or two before he really found his footing and became a superstar, right? So JayZ had like a 4 or 5 year build up before he went multi-platinum. Now, during that time, what JayZ did was he took his music to the streets. He sold it out the trunk of his car. He is actually one of the first people that we've talked about doing that, other than Master P, right? There was Master P, JayZ, Dame Dash, Rockefeller out the trunk of the car. After that, we had Ludacris pull the same thing in Atlanta, right? T.I. puts his first album out, I'm Serious. It doesn't sell the units that he wanted it, but he had that song, Dope Boys in the Trap. He started performing at all the chitlin circuits, which is all of the Alabamas, Mississippi, Arkansas, all of these southern states where people really was not getting music like that. They weren't getting the artists that they wanted to see. They didn't have artists that they related to. Louisiana, the Houstons. T.I. went out and beat the block up doing that. Again, this is where JayZ has the opportunity to see somebody that's already done it, and their team can take note. So JayZ comes and he links with Drama, and they start putting these projects out. They hit the road. They go off on a 10, 15 city tour just in the South alone, North Carolina, South Carolina, Mississippi, right? All the way up to damn near probably Virginia. And this mixtape is probably garnishing him, 30, 40 grand a night, 50 grand a night just to show up, just to do 2 songs, 4 songs, right? Selling the mixtapes outside the club, hand-to-hand money. He said during that time they made $6 million, right? But that doesn't mean he's bigger than JayZ. JayZ already been through what y'all talking about. So how could he be more relevant or bigger? It's not how that works. Now, again, I understand his angle. He says there's moments where smaller artists can become more relevant than the bigger artists. And basically what you're talking about is those initial buzzes where everybody in the industry is watching to see what this person is going to do. You're going to have numerous bigger artists that have sustained buzz, meaning every time they drop something, it just hits. People are waiting on their next hit. They may be touring, selling out arenas, but then that new heat comes and everybody just goes, whoo, and directs their attention. We understand that, but never does that mean that you're more relevant. It just means that you're having a moment that's undeniable. That's all it is, right? Now, if you want to say somebody like a 50 Cent came out and he had people's attention off mixtapes. When he put out Wanksta, he had people's attention. In the Club takes over, right? So he had a moment. He had the heat. But what 50 Cent did was he also put out a hit album that sold 20 million records worldwide. He became the #1 selling artist in the world. That is a time where somebody became more relevant than JayZ. At the time Jeezy came, he was just putting out mixtapes. Thug Motivation, I think, might have went double, triple platinum or something like that. Jay was consistently doing that as well. So you could say he was seen at the same level at that time, but never more. Okay? Now, even when it comes to club records, you go to the chitlin circuit, and this is why regional bias plays its part, because while they're going to these clubs and going to these backwood places, and I don't mean to call them backwood out of disrespect, we're talking about just when you go to a arena, that's the big show, right? But then you could go to the local spot, the local lounge where all the killers and thugs hang out at, the spots where the people that you really don't want to be around like that are hanging out. They have different tastes. They're listening to the street music, right? They pulling up in them heavy ass Chevys, Eldorados, you know what I'm saying? Cutlass Supremes. Niggas is pulling up in them motherfuckers. They beating down the block, playing Jeezy, Trap or Die. You know what I'm saying? Bang, motherfucker, bang, all that type of shit. I get it. So at that moment, it probably felt like the world was revolving around Jeezy. And we're not going to say that it wasn't. There was a specific world that was revolving around him. But JayZ is looking at this nigga like, that nigga fire. Like, but you ain't me, my nigga. Matter of fact, I'm going to turn your shit up. Give me 60 bars on your song and see what I do with that shit. And what did it do? It gave him more validity. Number one, it gave people the idea that JayZ had arrived. Same raps, same everything, different type of beat. You get JayZ on it, you're out of here. But I just disagree with more relevant. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? He says people in New York was on him like that, plus people in the South. People in New York was on JayZ. However, they liked JayZ because he reminded them of what they already liked. He was like a Southern New York nigga. That's why they liked T.I. That's why they liked wanes. Moments in time where you get somebody out the South that got swag, that know how to put words together, and people from the East Coast like, we fuck with him. Rest of them niggas, you can have them. We fuck with this one though. So again, I have an immense amount of respect for Coach K. I have an immense respect for Jeezy. I fucks with Jeezy from that time to now. Hell, I play Come Shop with me. Goddamn. But JayZ, that's a whole nother level, man. And at that time, JayZ was retired, if y'all can remember. The nigga was not even trying to rap, came back and gave that nigga 60 bars and got that nigga a whole nother second round of buzz for that Thug Motivation shit. So it ain't no way that you could be hotter than the motherfucker that come give you the goddamn passing of the torch. It's just not how it goes. Let me know what y'all think of this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the post notification bell for all updates, and I will see y'all on the next one, all right? Much love and respect. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef for computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. When I catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.